What if I told you that two people can have the exact same skills, the exact same education, and even the exact same opportunities, yet one becomes highly successful while the other struggles for years? And what if the difference wasn't talent? What if the difference was something happening inside their mind every single day? Most people think success creates positive thinking, but the truth is often the opposite. Positive thinking creates the action that creates success. And before you dismiss these as motivational fluffs, stay with me, because in this video, you are going to discover why some people seem to attract opportunities while others constantly find obstacles. You will also learn powerful wisdoms from Jim Rohn and Les Brown, and I will show you exactly how to put this into daily practice to change your life. You will learn real-life examples that prove how mindset changes outcomes, and most importantly, I will show you practical steps you can start using today to develop a success-oriented mindset. And here is a surprising part. Positive thinking is not about pretending problems don't exist. No. In fact, the people who succeed the most are often the ones who see reality clearly while refusing to be controlled by negativity. And near the end of this video, I will share a simple 5-minute daily exercise that can completely change the way you think and approach life. So make sure you stay until the end. Now let's begin. Why positive thinking matters a lot. Jim Rohn once said, "Either you run the day or the day runs you." Think about that for a moment. Every morning, you wake up with a choice. You can allow circumstances, bad news, setbacks, and negativity to control your thinking, or you can take control of your mindset and direct your focus towards solution and your goals. Successful people understand something that average people often miss. Your thoughts influence your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions, and your actions influence your results. Let's imagine two salespeople. Both receive 10 rejections in a row. The first salesperson thinks, "This is hopeless. Nobody wants what I'm selling." He becomes discouraged, loses confidence, and eventually stops trying. The second salesperson thinks, "Every rejection is bringing me closer to a yes." She stays motivated, keeps making calls, improves her approach, and eventually lands several clients. Same situation, different thinking, different outcome. The situation didn't create the result, the mindset did. This is why positive thinking is so powerful. Not because it magically changes the world, but because it changes the way you respond to the world. And of course, how you respond to the world is the game changer, the hidden cost of negative thinking. Many people underestimate how expensive negative thinking really is. Negative thinking doesn't just affect your mood, it affects your decisions. Imagine someone who constantly says, "I will probably fail. I am not good enough. Things never work out for me." Eventually, they stop taking chances. They avoid opportunities. They don't apply for promotion. They don't start the business. They don't ask for help. They don't even develop new skills. Years later, they blame luck. But the real problem started with their thinking. Here is another example you should take a look at. Two students fail an important exam. One student says, "I failed because I am stupid." The other thinks, "I failed because my presentation strategy wasn't effective." The first student attacks their identity, the second student evaluates their strategy. One gives up, the other improves. The difference isn't intelligent, the difference is perspective. And perspective shapes destiny. Stay with me, because the next lesson might be the most important one in this entire video. Now let's look at Jim Rohn's philosophy of success and attitude. Jim Rohn spent decades teaching people how to transform their lives. One of his most powerful ideas was that success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by becoming the kind of person capable of achieving it. That means success starts internally before it appears externally. Jim Rohn also said, "Learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want." This is a powerful lesson. Many people postpone happiness. They tell themselves, "I will be happy when I make more money. I will be happy when I buy a house. I'll be happy when I achieve my goals." But success doesn't come from constantly feeling deprived. Success grows faster when gratitude and ambition work together. Think about an entrepreneur building a business. If they focus only on what is missing, they will constantly feel discouraged. But if they appreciate how far they have already come while continuing to move forward, they will have the energy to keep going. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring the gap, it's appreciating the progress, and progress creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates action, and of course, action creates success. Now, let's look at Les Brown's powerful lesson on limitations, as this will change your life if you apply it carefully. As he once said, life has no limitations except the ones you make. Think about how many limitations exist in the mind. I am too old. I am too young. I am not talented. I don't have enough experience. I am not lucky. I don't have someone to help me. I don't have connections. Many of the world's greatest success stories began with people who refused to accept these limitations. Consider Colonel Sanders. Most people know him as the founder of KFC. What many people don't know is that he faced countless rejections and didn't find major success until later in life. Imagine if he had believed he was too old. Imagine if he had accepted failure as permanent. His story would have ended before it started. Positive thinkers don't ignore obstacles. No, they simply refuse to let obstacles become permanent conclusions. That's the difference. And this next section is where everything becomes practical, because mindset without action changes nothing. Keep watching. Here, let's talk about how to develop positive thinking daily, because it's going to be a practical thing that you do every day. And I must warn you before we start this. First thing you need is discipline. If you're not disciplined, you cannot develop positive thinking. And you only need discipline to practice these 5 steps that I'm going to share with you here. So I beg you, develop discipline. Discipline yourself. And one of the things you can do is to set alarm to practice this every single day. Now here are 5 practical habits that you can start today. Habit 1. Control your morning inputs. The first 30 minutes after waking up are powerful. Instead of immediately consuming negative news and social media drama, spend a few minutes reading, learning, or listening to something inspiring. Feed your mind success before the world feeds it fear. Again, feed your mind success before the world feeds it fear. Habit number 2, replace limiting questions. Stop asking, why does this always happen to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? The quality of your questions determines the quality of your thinking. Habit number 3, keep a gratitude journal. Now this is very important, because the more grateful you are, the more the universe, the more God gives to you. Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. This trains your mind to notice opportunities instead of problems. Over time, your focus begins to shift naturally to solutions and opportunities. Habit number 4, watch your self-talk. Pay careful attention to the conversations happening inside your head. As a matter of fact, this is where the success and failure begin. What you tell yourself internally is the game changer. When you catch yourself saying, I can't do this, replace it with, I can learn how to do this. That small change can transform your confidence. Habit number 5, surround yourself with positive influences. Jim Rohn famously taught that the people around you influence your thinking. Spend more time with people who encourage growth, solutions, and possibilities. Environment shapes your mindset. Mindset shapes your result, and result shapes your future. Therefore, make sure you are surrounded with positive thinkers or people who believe that they can achieve what they want. If you don't have them around, look for them online. There are a lot of positive groups online, on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and different social media platforms. There are a lot of positive groups that you can join. Now here is a call to action that you need to do. And this is what I'm charging you to do after you watch this video. Positive thinking alone will not make you successful. Remember that? have always said this, that action is what gives you result. But you will struggle to become successful without it. Because every achievement begins as a thought. Every thought begins as a belief. Every breakthrough begins with the decision to see possibility where others see limitation. Remember Jim Rohn's wisdom: either you run the day or the day runs you. And remember Les Brown's powerful reminder: life has no limitations except the ones you make. The question is not whether positive thinking works. The question is whether you are willing to practice it long enough to experience the results. And this is where discipline comes in. I mentioned it in this video that discipline is what's going to give you what you want. When you combine positive thinking with discipline, the sky is just a starting point for you. Starting today, choose one positive habit from the 5 that we have mentioned and commit to it for at least 30 days. Because success does not begin when circumstances change. Success begins when thinking changes. If you enjoy this message, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And remember, your future is being shaped by what you think about it right now. The result you get tomorrow is as a result of the thought you started thinking today. Therefore, think wisely, think what you want to see tomorrow,